She might just be.
Just wanted
Yeah,
to
that's
observe.
her. Yep.
Okay. All right, y'all ready to go live?
Yes, we're ready.
Yeah.
All right, well, here we go. Well, praise the Lord, hallelujah, and thank you, Jesus. It's around that time right here on KAZ Radio. We're at one of my most favorite shows, The Sisters of Leisure with Tracy and Michelle. Take it away, sisters.
Hello, hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in on this hot, beautiful Sunday. I just want to let you know to please stay hydrated and stay in cool places. But anyway, my name is Tracy, and I'm just one part of Sisters of Leisure, where we are living every day and seeking and understanding real events.
And I am Michelle, the little sister. So let me just tell you, I'm excited because today we're going to learn something. I can tell we're going to learn something today. It's going to be an exciting 30 minutes because we have the co-founder of Black Women of Hospitality, of Stacia Harvey-Randall, and her director of public relations and marketing. I do apologize. I do apologize. Miss Bland Reed. Yes, say that again.
Enjoli.
Enjoli. Thank you, Angelo. I do apologize. I said it in my soul deep down, and then all of a sudden I get right here and I totally freak out, but that's okay. So let me just tell you something. I'm so excited to have you guys on.
We also have the founder.
Okay,
Ms.
and we have the
Janetta.
founder, Miss Janetta Johnson, of Black Women of Hospitality. Welcome, ladies. I appreciate you guys coming on the show. Can you tell us a little bit about the foundation of Black Women of Hospitality?
Well, we just started 4 months ago. And yeah, it's fairly new. We have a hospitality background of at least over 10 years of experience in hotels. And when the vision was created by me and my founder, we actually met at a vision board party. We discovered that we were the only ones in the building that had hospitality background. And we just said we wanted to get together and partner on something, but it was going to be big. So throughout our conversations, we discussed, what are happening to our African-American women and our women of color? Why are they not advancing in their roles? They are just becoming stagnant in their growth. So we said we want to be the ones to bridge that gap, to help them get over the hurdle, to advance to director positions, general manager positions, or even ownership of a hotel. And we said we wanted to branch out. When you think of hospitality, it's not just hotels. It could be the airlines as well, and the restaurant industry. Those were the three industries that we definitely want to really focus on. So we just decided to start a group and invite all of these talented women into the group. We have about 100 members. They work for various brands, various positions, from sales to finance to event planning to operations. And we said we want to have a safe space as well as a network where women will be able to communicate, learn from each other, offer resources to help develop them for their next roles, have mentorship, all at the same time of being able to have community service events to give back to the community.
So you guys saw a deficit within the hospitality industry in Black women owners of hotels, and just the leadership position, correct?
Both leadership as well as ownership.
Okay.
Yeah, a big deficit.
Yeah.
And a lot of individuals quit the industry because they feel like they didn't have anyone to mentor them or to help them get over the hurdle. They really didn't receive any real-time feedback or performance plans to help them get to the next level. So they leave the industry. So we want to be a safe space to help them come to us to talk about those deficiencies and help them return and advance.
So Anja, Enjoli, what is your role? What do you do?
So within the organization, I am the public relations and marketing director, as well as our chaplain for the organization. And so my job is to make sure from inception of vision moving forward is that we are creating the proper data that goes out through our social media networks, as well as one of our biggest platforms, which is actually LinkedIn, and now growing and trending daily. Our TikTok channel is now up and going and growing daily. And so my job is just to make sure that we have the proper presence that will attract people to our organization, to ensure that they understand that we are for real, kind of solidifying and putting the color to who we are publicly. And then I pray.
See, my
Great.
thing is, so when did you, Stacia, start wanting to be in hospitality? What made you go towards that career path?
So that was a great question, because in one of my last interviews, someone posed the question of, did I find hospitality or did hospitality find me? And the answer was, it found me. I was supposed to be a secondary high school education teacher in English with a minor in journalism. And I wanted to move off campus. And my mom was like, I don't know how you're going to do that, because you're definitely going to have to find a job. And my roommate was like, you need to come work for a hotel. And I was like, what? What am I going to be doing? And she was like, you're going to be a concierge. But then when I ended up interviewing, they said, no, she would be great for the front desk. So my first experience was in New Orleans at one of the largest hotel properties, checking in for Essence Festival. And it was 1,100 guest rooms. And I was overwhelmed, but I was just like, oh my goodness, look at all of these people. Look at all of the people that I'm going to meet. So as I started working and months passed, I realized that I love my connection with people. You know, I had a lot of return guests that would come back to the hotel. They were called to make sure I was working that day. I was averaging about 10 comment cards a week. So I was like, I don't want to be a teacher anymore. Like, I'm finding this job very rewarding. I have great benefits. I'm getting good pay. I have great leaders that believe in me, and they are actually encouraging me to move up. I would tell them I can't move up right now because I need to finish school. They're like, oh no, just let us know what you need and we're going to work with your school schedule. So I felt like, okay, when I was studying to be a teacher, my advisors wasn't really working with my work schedule, but my job is willing to work with my education. They are committed to me. So I left that thought of even wanting to be a teacher and started advancing in hospitality. And if it didn't find me, I would have been doing something that I didn't want to do.
Yeah, when I was in college, I was in the hospitality industry, and I did find it to be very rewarding. You do meet a great group of people, and it is it's a lot of fun. It's nothing stays the same. Everything is different, and it's definitely a joy to be in that industry. And I thought I would stay in the hospitality industry, but I was one of the ladies who ended up leaving. So what would someone who joined your organization, what would they receive by joining Women of Hospitality?
So joining the organization, every month we have what we call a power hour call. These calls are provided with a wealth of information, whether we are talking about the initiatives that we want to do in the next quarters, or we always have a training topic to help develop someone in their career. And then sometimes we have guest speakers. So like this month on the 27th, we are featuring Miss Devone Reeves, who is an African-American female in her 30s who owns 3 hotels and now has owned her own crowdfunding platform to help people invest in hotels. We feel that's a great topic. That is actually a topic that's not even explored women of color don't even think about ownership. They're just working for corporate America and they're not even thinking that far out. So we're opening up the minds of women so they can think further than what their current goals are. And then we want to plan, of course, our first ever Black Women of Hospitality conference. And this is where you will be able to attend a 3-day conference. You'll be able to be exposed to panel speakers that are in high-level VP jobs, talking to you about their stories, how they were discouraged, how they still were able to move up the ladder, as well as we want to focus on some mental health, because a lot of the stressors, the feedback that we receive from our managers, just the burnout of just being overworked and not appreciated, plays onto the mental and helps and makes our women give up because they feel like they don't have any safe space. And then we also want to have a career fair that if you are not with the right company, you might find the right company at this conference. So this network of women are important, especially if you're running your own hotel as a general manager. I could connect you with another general manager that may have a stronger suit in something that you're not strong in. But now you have a buddy system. You have a person that you can reach out to and say, hey, I'm struggling with my financials. Is there some time we can set? Can we do a Zoom call? Can you help me? It's all about building the woman up. And this is needed because they've been torn down so much.
I mean, I love your energy. You know, it is so amazing. And it's so amazing how passionate you are about what you do, you know, and how you will recruit other women to just kind of have that same passion and desire.
And believe it or not, we have women that run away. Like they'll send us a message and say, oh, you know, this might be too much for me right now. And I'm going to take a break from the organization and I'm going to come back. And I'm that person that does that outreach and say, no, we understand that you have other things going outside of this organization. But this is what we need when you get to that moment.
Yeah.
We don't want you to run. We are a sisterhood. We are a movement. We want you to stay. Let's talk about how we could balance your life. What's going on? And sometimes it's just, I'm not getting jobs. I'm all over the place. I just feel discouraged. Okay, well, that's our purpose and our mission, to encourage you. Let's talk about the feedback you're getting. Let's talk about the interviews that you're going on. Let me take a look at your resume. We are the source of strength to help the woman keep going. And we love opportunity. So we don't want you to run from the organization. It's the perfect time to come into the organization when you're going through things, so we can help you get back on track.
Yes.
So I'm noticing the pineapples on your, you know, both of you having sporting the same. Is that part of your sorority, like within not sorority, but your organization? Is it part of like your identifier of your organization?
Yes, because the pineapple is a symbol of hospitality, and
Yes.
our women in this organization is here to serve. So if you see a pineapple on a woman, she is showing that she's here to serve you, one woman at a time.
I love that. So, and so there has been several times where, you know, I love to, when I travel, we stay at hotels. Are there identifiers of a woman-owned hotel or a Black-owned hotel? Because I've always asked that question when I go to certain places. Most people don't know, you know, but I was just wanting to know, is there like a white pages of Black owners, hotel owners, you know, or something, not the white page, yellow pages or whatever, you know?
I think Enjoli could pretty much
Sure.
answer that. I know I have to typically go online and search for
Mhm.
Black hotel owners. If I don't know that you're a Black hotel owner, I find it a little difficult. I don't, Enjoli might be able to give a little bit more expertise of how they are marketing that they're a Black owner, if they are, and just do not want to be a silent owner.
So I believe in 2021 and definitely throughout the pandemic, we began to see the rise of seeing Black-owned businesses, because we began to see during the pandemic in particular, it put such a highlight concerning Black-owned businesses. When we started talking about the PPP loans and all of those type of things, we were seeing that Black businesses in general were not necessarily getting the same as other cultures. Well, during that time, we begin to see there's no specific website, and maybe that's something we will initiate, who knows? But there's no specific website that's like, stayblack.com. Like, because there is a
I love that.
buyblack.com, but maybe there should be like a stayblack.com or something. I do know that oftentimes when it comes to identifying our race, culture, and creed, I believe that is an area within Black people and Black women. We're still afraid to do that because we feel like other cultures won't support because we're Black. In the retail world, we get all kinds of support. So I hope in the next, 2 to 5 years, we'll begin to see that those things begin to expand more over the next few years, again, because we are now putting an emphasis on Black and being Black. We also are putting emphasis on, like, even at Target has like buy Black sections going on in Target online, supporting Black retailers. So we're beginning to see it. So there is an evolution that is here. So maybe it's stayblack.com. Maybe we will be the inventors of that, so that we know that we are supporting Black ownership, but just know that we actually don't have a lot of Black ownership, which is the culture that we are trying to shift.
Yeah. And that's exciting, because when Tracy and I decided to do this podcast, that was our focus. Because I would always say, we as consumers, we as Black Americans, African American, Pan Africans, however you want to call it, we sustain our society with our dollar. And so it's really important that we know these things, because I do intentionally put my dollar in certain people's hands, when it comes to my taxes, when it comes to, just, setting up my website, we were intentional in that. And so it's just good it will be a good thing to maybe consider, because if I could go to 2 different hotels and I know that one is a Black-owned hotel, I want to be able to put that money with them. That might be a good idea.
So what is your next big project that you're having coming up?
So we have a couple of projects that we're working on. The first one, we want to focus on having a pineapple gala. And that is going to focus on our women in the industry that we want to honor. We call them our hospitality heroes.
Okay.
So we want to get all the hotels involved here in Atlanta, where they will be able to, of course, purchase a table and also nominate someone from their hotel in all the different categories that we want to honor those individuals in. The second event, we want to have our first 5K hospitality walk. And we want that to focus on, of course, the mental health of our individuals that are in hospitality. And then the last event will be our conference. So it's kind of like we are doing things in steps because we want to build the momentum. And we're also having hospitality mixers every quarter to get our name out there Also, new members can come in to meet us in person and also see what the organization has to offer.
So
Very
is
good.
there a fee for these? A fee to be a part of your organization? How does that work?
So as of right now, we're starting our membership dues starting next month. It will be $25 monthly because we have the Zoom calls open to everyone, but now they will be closed and only open to our members. So you would pay the $25 monthly. You will have access to the Zoom calls with the guest speakers. You'll also be able to receive discounts on any events that we may have, as well as we're looking at different things as far as like we're looking at partnering with the suit line in New York to help our women establish themselves as leaders and professional, and they will be able to receive discounts for that. You'd have to be in the organization to get the exclusive discounts. You'll also get the discount on when it's time to register for the conference, any of these mixers that we will have as well.
So is there a certain hotel chain that you find is best to work for as a Black woman who maybe you find that has a better support or a better, just, climate within the industry?
That's hard. Anjali's come from some brand. Anjali, what's your take on that?
So it's all about personal preference. So I'm in currently my 9th hotel after 10 years. I just celebrated 10 years last month in the industry. And so this is my 9th hotel. I have done it all. But I've primarily been a Marriott girl for the majority of my career and corporate managed Marriott. And to just explain the difference between the two, which actually is the real difference. I don't think it's a brand that's a difference, but how that brand is ran is a difference. So corporate managed is like Hilton runs Hilton's, Marriott runs Marriott, IHG runs IHG or manages it, versus like a franchise for a management company, is like a third party that represents. So that's usually actually the difference of like, what brand, because all of our big brands, IHG, Marriott, Hilton, Wyndham, all of those big brands, they really have taken each other's model, and you're seeing them consistently across every one of the brands that are out there. So whatever Marriott's talking about is the same thing Hilton's talking about. They may change it just a little bit to put their own spin on it, but because they're in competition in employment, because I could jump ship from Marriott today and jump over into Hilton, and nobody would blink twice, because they're just getting a great employee, right? But how it is managed is usually what people are making a choice of. I am currently in my first year of being in a third party management. It is different. I'm used to being able to go to this person who does this, who answers this, boom, 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 versus like there's a chain of command and there's several layers and several tiers. And that's actually a great management company, not just, everybody flying by the seat of their pants. So that's more so more than the brand itself, because all the brands really are talking the same language at this point. Maybe 10 years ago, maybe not so much. But now that I'm been here 10 years, I can definitely say they're all pretty much saying the same thing, just a little different. But the choice is, do I want to be in a corporate managed something, or do I want to be in like a third party, like a franchise management company? That's the real difference.
Yeah. And I have to agree with Enjoli about that. It's really about what you're looking for from an employer. I mean, Enjoli might be looking for something different from her employer that that doesn't really apply to me. So I think it's based on each individual. Like I've worked for some pretty big brands that were corporate ran, but like my favorite employer is the one that has the third party, and it's because of how I've been treated as an employee, how I've been entrusted in being able to be advanced to different levels. So different employers give you different things that you need. I can honestly say though, that I have been blessed to work all the brands that I worked in. I was actually blessed to have people in those brands that believed in me.
Mhm.
But once it was beyond what they can help me with, I had to start looking at me and going to a different brand to make sure that my goal was met. Because you can't make somebody else responsible to get you where you need to go.
Mhm.
You have to evaluate yourself. And if a person has you to the highest that they can, now you have to say, okay, what are you gonna do to get to the next level? Because that's not on them, that's
Mhm.
on you.
Yeah.
So, I look at it as it doesn't matter what brand that you come from or you wanna work for, this organization, we're all doing the same thing. We're running multi-million-dollar operations.
Mhm.
We are in stressful positions. Our day-to-day is different every day.
Mhm.
You have to be prepared to go into work because you don't know what kind of day you are going to have. So your mind has to automatically shift to and adjust to those situations and those circumstances. Like look at Janetta. Janetta would have loved to be on the call, but she had a desk agent that called off. So she has to go to the desk and stand at the desk and check in someone. That's why in the organization, we say that hospitality is not a career, it's a calling, because you have to want to do that. And that is what our network of women want to do. We want to serve.
So how can the people of the world get in contact with you?
So we are everywhere. We are on LinkedIn under Black Women of Hospitality. We are on TikTok now because, that's what the new generation is using.
Mhm.
We are on Facebook under Black Women of Hospitality. We're on Instagram. And then we have our website, blackwomenofhospitality.com.
Awesome. I just want to say, we really appreciate you all coming on and sharing. This has been very educational for me, because it's like, you get into a position, you're really excited about where you want to go, and you do it, and then you're helping bring up the next person.
Mhm.
Yes.
I love that, because a lot of people do get stuck. They get in a position, they get stuck, and they don't know what to do. So you all have a wealth of knowledge to really guide those men and women, or women, to the next level, which is so needed.
And it wasn't a cakewalk for none of us. All of our women in this organization have a testimony.
Yes.
We had to earn everything that we have. So it's not like we can sit there and tell the next woman, oh, you could get it done. We know the barriers. We know the hurdles that we had to go through. Now we can just tell them how to navigate. We didn't have that when we were coming up. We didn't have a network of women that we could, just call up and say, I'm going through this. And now we want to provide a platform where they have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have 1,000 followers on TikTok?
Yeah, 1,300.
Okay, good, because y'all can go live.
1,300, yeah. And it's increasing daily.
Good.
So
Good.
I think a lot of people don't even choose hospitality because they don't even know what it entails.
Yeah. And
They just think, oh, you're a front desk agent or you clean rooms. No, you can be a director. You can make a 6-figure salary. You can do some great things in hospitality, but they were never told that.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because even when it comes to so when you say hospitality, I know you mean the hotel, but I don't know. When I was in college, I was wanting to go into the boating industry under hospitality. And I was just like, but how do I even get in? How do I even navigate through? And so it was just something that I just kind of like just threw out the window. But you know, I know that that's definitely a deficit to see Black women in the boat, especially the yachting industry, anything that's dealing with, you know, luxury boating, yachting, and things of that nature. So yeah, this is a beautiful thing to be able to have you guys share. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so I just want to say again, thank you, Black women of hospitality, for coming on Sisters of Leisure. Please follow them on TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram. And Facebook. Yes. Thank you so
ladies,
much.
this is really informative.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely.
And when we have our conference and our events, we'll be more than happy to come back on to showcase that and invite our attendees to come out.
Okay.
That would be great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night.